Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of my speedrunning tutorial on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. This time around we're going to cover the major circuit, which of course is Don Flamenco, King Hippo, Great Tiger, and Bald Bull. I'm going to give you the speedrun strats that you're going to use to get past these guys. Luckily, some of them aren't too tough, but once we get to Bald Bull, things are going to get a little bit challenging, so we're going to use some of the things you guys learned in part 1, and we're going to try to go ahead and build on that a little bit. So let's get started right away. We're going to go right into it with Don Flamenco, and we're going to use a buffer strategy that was developed by none other than Zallard1. He's also the guy that developed the buffer strategy for Glass Joe that you saw in part 1 of this video. It used to be that this star was incredibly difficult to get because it is a frame perfect star, meaning you have 1/60th of a second to hit your punch against Don Flamenco in order to get that star. But using this buffer strat, you control your movement perfectly, and it means that you're going to hit that magical frame every single time. You're going to get your star 100% of the time, and you're hopefully never going to be resetting on Don Flamenco. That is the goal. Now, beyond that, once we get to King Hippo, that's a whole nother story. Probably going to have to reset on him somewhat frequently, but when you're first starting out speedrunning this game, I wouldn't concern yourself too much with worrying about your King Hippo times. Great Tiger is the only fighter in the game that's not going to present any challenges in terms of randomness. It's strictly timing in that fight. And then Bald Bull is going to be much like Piston Honda was in the first part of this tutorial. He's got a lot of different variations, and therefore there are a lot of different strategies that you'll have to be aware of to employ against him. So let's go ahead and move on over to the emulator. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, we already got Don Flamenco queued up here. So we can go ahead and get it on with him. Now, once again, just a reminder, or if you didn't see the first part of this tutorial, these number values, I'm playing this on FCEUX, which is an emulator, and this is a Lewis script, which allows us to see the damage values of each punch that we do in the course of a run. This is not going to be particularly helpful in this fight, but it will come in handy a little bit later. So something to keep your eye on. And again, of course, you want to look down here. This little D-pad you can see will light up when I actually press in different directions or press select or start or B and A. So the way you want to start this fight is by holding B and left. So by holding B and left, as you can see on the D-pad there, what you're doing is you're setting up the first buffer, the first part of the fight. And it's actually perfect because normally if you held two things at once, you'd think that one of them would have to take precedence, right? Like I can't punch and dodge at the exact same time, so if I'm doing both of those actions, which one's going to happen first? Luckily for us, the punch is actually going to be activated first. And as you know, when you punch at Don Flamenco, he is going to block and then retaliate with his own punch. So it works out very well. So you're actually just able to hold B and left instead of holding B and then pressing left, which would be a little more complicated. So what you're looking to do in this fight is once you hold B and left, you want to watch Little Mac. Don't even worry about Don Flamenco. You don't need to pay attention to him. He's going to do the same thing every time. And you just want to pay attention to Little Mac and make sure you're doing what you need to do. So as soon as you see Mac beginning his dodge, you're going to release B and left. And you're going to immediately press left again. By doing this, you're buffering the next dodge. So that means as soon as Mac comes back to the center of the ring, he will immediately begin dodging again. Remember, you can't waste any frames here because the punch that you're going to get the star with has to be frame perfect. So if you mess up your movement by even one frame, the whole strategy is not going to work. Now, as soon as you do your second dodge, you're going to have to start holding up and B because you're going to need to do a face punch, and it's going to have to be a quick dodge. And as you remember from part 1, how do you do a quick dodge? Easiest way to do that is left and then up. Left up. That's going to get us our quick dodge. So the first dodge is going to be a normal dodge. The second one is going to be a quick dodge. All right, let's see it in action. Now, don't forget, once you get the star, don't get too excited that you got the star. You actually have to throw it. So as soon as you land your punch, start holding start. So you're gonna, look at the D-pad, you're gonna start out with left and B, you're gonna let go, you're gonna immediately hold left again, and then you're gonna hit up and B to get the frame perfect punch, and then you're gonna start holding start so that you can get the star punch, and then you're gonna get the knockdown. So let's go ahead and see it in action. Works like a charm. So as you can see, we executed everything perfectly. There were no problems, and Don Flamenco is down at 10 seconds, as he will be every single time. Now, it doesn't matter what count he's going to get up on, because he doesn't have any random refills in this particular scenario. He's going to get up with the same amount of energy. You're simply going to have to dodge, punch him 5 times, and that's the end of the fight. So let's go ahead and do that. He can get up on 2, 5, 6, and 8. Doesn't really matter. Alright, and down he goes again. We got our, you noticed I was punching very fast there. I'm going to explain that as well. Let's go ahead and let him be down for the count there. He's not getting back up. With Don Flamenco, I believe as long as you knock him down 2 times in under a minute, he does not get back up. That might be 50 seconds. I'm not exactly sure on that number, but as you can see, we got a 15.25. Again, I must remind you that by using my trusty USB controller here, I do get just a couple frames of input lag, which for buffer strats doesn't matter, but when I'm actually doing things in real time, it's going to be a little bit slower than when I'm doing it on console. So normally that should be either a 14.97 if you did everything perfectly, a 14.99 if you were off by 1 frame in the second phase, and a 15.00 if you were off by 2 to maybe 4 or 5 frames. So there is going to be Q&A at the end, but what the heck. Ouija Wee asks, why do you throw the right punch at the end? The reason for that is because it's actually faster to knock them down that way, and I know we're not playing for real-time strats, but in real life, I'm saving a little bit of time by doing that, knowing that I'm probably going to reset on Hippo. So over the course of the years that I've been knocking him down, maybe I've saved an hour of my life by knocking him down with my right hand instead of with my left hand. I don't know. All right, so let's back it up. We're going to go back to the beginning here. So this time, I'm going to go ahead and just get a save here. Okay, I'm going to slow it down for you guys. I'm going to show you this one more time, just so you can kind of see it in slow motion, just so we're clear on how everything is working. Let's go at 50% speed. Again, remember, you hold B and left to start the fight. Punch lands, we begin dodging, I let go, I immediately start holding again, and I've missed because I'm not used to playing in slow motion. Let's try again. Slow motion's fun, isn't it? Okay. So punch lands, boom, begin dodge, start next dodge. Nope, didn't start my next dodge. Playing at 50% speed, hard to do. Okay, we got this. Here we go. Boom. There we go. That's what happens when you're used to playing things at full speed and then you try to go really slow. Things get a little more complicated. So that's phase 1. Simple as pie. So let's see it one more time. So remember, you want to hold B and left. You're gonna do your punch and your dodge. Let go, start left again, up, hold start. Pretty easy, okay? So you just gotta remember that sequence, get it into your muscle memory. A little tip I can give you is if you wanna practice this, if you're having trouble with it, you can just do it repeatedly. So if we go back to normal speed here, and you can just practice it over and over again. Whoops. All right, here we go. You can just keep doing that. So you gotta get used to it. So just get a feel for it. Just go ahead, practice it a bit, get used to it. Once you get it every time, then you're gonna have no problem, and you're gonna get them down on 10 seconds. So again, B left, quick punch, whoops. There we go. Can't lose any frames, guys. Okay, he's down on 10. Okay, so phase 2, there's just a little bit to talk about, and then we're going to move on because I don't want to spend too much time on this fight. It's pretty obvious how things need to be done. Okay, in phase 2, there's a couple things that you need to note. So I'm going to go ahead and make a state here. In order to get the rapid punches, you have to do something specific. And what that is first of all, you do need to do a quick dodge. You can't just try to wing this. You want to do a quick dodge, and you want to time your quick dodge specifically. Look for Don to flash. Okay, here, let's go ahead and let's roll it. Okay, so we're gonna see, boom. Okay, he flashed. Here, let's roll it again. Hold on. All right, so as we go here, he lifts up, so he hasn't flashed yet. If I dodge right now, I'm not gonna start my rapid punches. There's the flash. You can see he's turned red, so he's letting us know, hey, I'm gonna punch. Maybe you should dodge. Maybe you shouldn't. It's up to you. We want to dodge. This is your cue for dodging. He's gonna stay red. He's gonna stay red. He's gonna stay red. He's not red anymore. So he stays red for about 4 frames, and that's kind of your cue to say, okay, hey, now I can do the quick dodge and I'll do the rapid punches. So I'm gonna go ahead and display what happens in both scenarios if I dodge too early and still hit him, or if I dodge too late. So let's back it up. Okay, this is dodging too early. Well, I tried to dodge too early, but I think because of my input lag, it didn't exactly work out the way that I was hoping. Well, maybe. Okay, it was a 15.61. But the idea is that you're not going to get the rapid punches here. Let's try it again. Okay, there you go. So see how that was a little bit slower? Mac was punching a little bit slow. So we'll see what our time is now here. 15.99. So as you can see, you're not punching as fast. You're going to kind of have a bit of a delay when you're punching. So what you want to do is you want to delay. You want to wait, again, wait for the flash. When you see the flash, boom, that's when I know to dodge. And I'm letting you guys see the funny knockdown since I always knock them down with the right. So we'll see this time we get 15 flat. Okay, so as you can see, I was off by just 2 frames, which is the input lag. So if this had been done on console, I would have probably got a 14.97, and that would have been a perfect fight. So that's mainly all you need to know about Don Flamenco. You just want to remember. So we're going to go over it. We'll go back one more time, and we'll go through it. Hold B and left to open the fight. You're going to do a dodge, which is slow. You immediately start let go and start holding left again to start your next dodge, which is buffer. Then you hit up and B to do your quick dodge, punch to the face, and then you hold start to buffer your start punch. And he goes down at 10 seconds. There you go. He's down on 10. Alright, so phase 2, doesn't matter when he gets up. Refill is going to be the same. We want to do a left quick dodge when we see his flash and get those rapid punches in. Down he goes. He's not getting up, don't worry. 15 flat. So, you should usually be getting around that time, 15 flat. Sometimes you'll get a 14 here and there. It's not a big deal to try to get the 14.97, which is the low that you can get. And you can just kind of roll with that. Okay, let's go ahead and move along. King Hippo, everybody's favorite fight. So King Hippo, this is another really simple fight in terms of explanation. You only have to knock King Hippo down once. Easy, right? Unfortunately for a speedrun, it's not so easy because King Hippo is completely random. His punches are totally random. There's no way to predict it. There's no rhyme or reason. You simply need to get lucky. Now, the only time you can retaliate against King Hippo is when he opens his mouth and he does a big punch. When he does his little punches, well, sorry, you're going to lose time. So what you want to do is you want to start the fight off with a buffer, because even if you hit him in the face, you're not going to necessarily get the right number of punches. You need to be able to hit him fast enough to ensure that you will get the right number of punches in. Because if you hit him fast enough, you'll hit him once in the face, and then you'll hit him 9 times in the gut for 10 hits total. So you need to hit him 30 times. The best possible scenario is that you 3-cycle him, meaning he opens his mouth 3 times, you hit him 10 times for each of those times that he opens his mouth, and down he goes. And what happens is if you don't hit him fast enough, you'll only be able to hit him once in the face and then 8 times in the gut instead of 9, and then you're waiting for him to open up a 4th time. That's not something you want to be doing. You want to be able to hit him as fast as possible. So let's kind of just mess around a little bit and see what happens with this guy. So I'm going to start off with 3 right dodges here as a buffer. 1, 2, 3, boom! Look, he opened his mouth. That's perfect. Now that time I wasn't fast enough. And as you can see, it's incredibly difficult to play this fight with input lag. But the important thing is you guys got to see how the buffer strat works. So there you can see we had to hit Hippo some extra times there, because we didn't get all the fast punches. But if we go back, I don't know that the RNG will change. I think if we load this state, we should be able to get the buffer again. I hope. It may depend on when I start dodging, but yep, it does. Let's try again. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna just be holding right already. Alright, this fight's basically impossible to do on with input lag. So I'm really not going to go over it too much. The easiest way to explain it here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to slow it down. Maybe that'll... let's go ahead and do that. Let's even the playing field a little bit. Why don't we? Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, once you run out of hearts, he's going to automatically go into this. So you can see it's very difficult to beat him, and he wastes a lot of time with these normal punches. There's no telling when he's going to open his mouth. So the goal here, the objective, is you want to just be able to 3-cycle him, which, as you can see, it's hard to do even at 75% speed. Let's see if I can get it. I'm going to fight him a few more times. So I'm going to open with the buffer, which is just simply 3 right dodges. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So as you can see, even playing slowed down, we're having a little trouble. We got him at 102 there. That was good with the buffer. I'd like you guys to see at least 1 3-cycle. I don't want to slow it down to 50% speed. That's just absurd. I should be able to get it with a 75% speed. So again, 1 dodge, 2, 3, and then punch. Got him. There it is, a 42. Okay, so that's exactly what you want to happen. You want him to open 3 times pretty quickly, and you want to be able to hit him as fast as you can. And there is a 3 cycle. So that time I hit him fast enough each and every time. Now let me show you what you're looking for. I'm going to slow it down even more so that I can explain over top of this, so you can see what you're looking for. So there's our 3 cycle. That's the goal, that's the objective. Let's go back. Okay, now there's a couple different ways you can go about this in terms of visual cues. You should really just do whatever is going to work for you. So you're going to have to kind of experiment and play around a little bit and see what you like. For me personally, I like to use his waistband as my visual cue. You can use his gloves, you can use his foot, you can use his head, you can use pretty much anything you want. I'm just used to using his waistband as my thing that I look for. Now, once I see him going up and down very quickly, that's when I know he's about to throw his punch. So it's easier to kind of tell because his lower body's going to be moving really rapidly up and down. So let's just go ahead and let him throw some punches. I'm going to just block so you guys can get a sense of it. Okay. Now you're going to notice that he hops kind of side to side. This is where the biggest variation comes in that makes this fight extra difficult. This is actually what in my personal opinion, that makes the fight as hard as it is. He can do a 1 second delay in between each of his punches, whether it's a punch that you can counter or a punch that you cannot counter. And all he's going to do, he'll do a little hop. And that can kind of throw your timing off. It's very, very subtle, but you'll see he can kind of hop around, and that makes things a little bit trickier. So let's see. So you can see him. He's hopping. He's hopping. He's hopping. Boom! There was the fast hops. Okay, that was a boom. There it is again. So you can see. Okay, so he's not going fast. Watch his waistband. He's not going fast. Boom! There it was. Okay, watch his waistband. He's not going fast. Here it comes. Okay, so you can see how it starts going a little faster there. Boom! You can see that speed. Nothing. 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 Watch the waistband. Nothing. There it is. Alright, so hopefully you guys are kind of getting an idea of what we're looking for. We're looking for that rapid up and down motion. And that's kind of the tell that, hey, he's about to throw that big punch, and I need to punch him in the face. Now, you're going to have to kind of get a feel for this. There's no real thing that I can tell you of like, this is exactly when you need to punch. You're just going to have to learn how to punch fast. A couple things though, you can't punch too fast. If you punch too fast, I'll show you what happens here. There's actually several different variations that can happen, so let's see what he's going to do. Okay, so that's punching too late. We didn't get enough punches in. Nothing. Nothing. Here it comes. Punch too early. Boom! He counter punches you. Don't punch too early. If you punch really too early, like I just did there, he won't even do anything. And then here, that's when you actually counter it. That's what you're looking to do. So you can't punch too early, you can't punch too late. You gotta punch right on time. Right on time. Right when his mouth is just like that. Wide open, ready to get hit. So hopefully you guys are kind of getting a better understanding of what's going on with King Hippo. This is the single most frustrating fight in the speed run. Thankfully it's early enough on. But as I said before, when you're first starting out, don't worry about resetting on this fight. You know, just pretend it never happened. Just go ahead, beat him. Who cares if it takes a minute and 30 seconds? Just beat him and move along, okay? You know, once your personal best times start getting better, then yeah, you will have to start having standards on King Hippo. But when you're first starting out, don't worry about it. You don't need standards. So let's go through once again. Again, just you want to keep your eyes on the waistband. That's your world right there. Your world is a waistband. And let's see if we can get him. I'm going to speed it up back to 75%. And let's see if we can get him again. Now this time, oh, one other thing. With the buffer strat that I demonstrated, you have to be careful because remember, you're doing a right dodge, a second right dodge, and a third right dodge, but then you're punching him in the face. Now here's the thing. Remember, quick dodging, it works both to the right and to the left. So when you dodge right and then you press up, you're going to do a quick dodge. That's going to mess up your buffer. So you got to make sure that you're waiting until Mac is well past center, getting back, and then press up and B for the first punch of the fight. Okay? Because otherwise you're not going to hit. You're going to do a quick dodge and you're going to punch too early. So you want to hold right, release it, hold it again, release it, hold it again, release it, and then wait, and then hold up and B, and hopefully it connects. If he opens his mouth on the first go round, you're going to connect and you're going to get all 9 hits, so it's a freebie, okay? Then you only need to get 2 good counters. 2 of the difficult counters is what you would have to get in that scenario. So let's see it in action. So I'm dodging, 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 waiting, now punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Watch the waistband. There you go. 55. Anything under a minute is pretty good when you're starting out. You should be very, very satisfied with anything under a minute on King Hippo. As your runs become very good, then you will need to be a little more picky. But even a 55, I'm the world record holder, and I would still accept a 55. No problem. So that's about everything you need to know on King Hippo. Just a quick review. Start the fight, do 3 dodges to the right. Now remember, they have to be to the right. You can't dodge to the left. Dodging to the left and dodging to the right takes different amounts of frames. Okay? Alright, let's move along here. Great Tiger is up next. Now, as I mentioned before, Great Tiger is a very nice fight. Comes after one of the most annoying fights in the game, and it happens to be one of the easiest fights in the game, so it kind of gives you a little bit of a break after you've had to deal with King Hippo's nonsense. Kind of gives you a little bit of time to cool down before we get to Bald Bull, who's also a bit of a pain in the neck. Alright. So with Great Tiger, there's basically a couple things you need to know. One, you're going to have to learn how to do the late counters to get the stars. And 2, you're going to have to kind of just understand and have a general sense of how the timing for the fight goes. There are some visual cues, but you need to be careful. This fight a lot just comes down to feel, really is what it is. So I'm going to teach you the visual cues, and then we're going to see if we can't get this guy down in 48. Let's go ahead back to full speed here. Alright, so you want to open with a face punch. Get your 3 stars, use 2 of them, then you want to get 1 more. Whoops, now everything's messed up. Let's try that again. Okay, so here's the goal. You want to open the fight up and B, buffer that first punch, and then what you're going to do is you're going to actually watch his shoulder. So I'm going to slow it down for you, and just watch his shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just do a normal right dodge. Okay, so as you can see, his sprite moves forward. See how he was kind of back here, and now he's up here? He kind of oscillates forward. Something that you should know for other fights later on down the line. Because he's going to go back. He has to go back to where he started from. So as we move forward, he's moving back. Okay, so once he gets fully back, which I think is either, it's maybe here, he may go back one more little amount. Yes, he was fully back. Once he's fully back, that's kind of your cue. You need to wait just a little bit and then punch him. So let's do it again. So we're punching him. We're gonna dodge. Now you can do a regular dodge or a quick dodge here, it doesn't much matter. And then you wanna watch his shoulder. Watch his shoulder, that's your visual cue. Once that returns kind of back to here and it comes to a full stop, that's when you know you want to punch him. So it's back there. I don't know if this punch is actually going to land. It's very tough to tell when I'm doing this with frame advance. But that's the idea. You want to just watch that shoulder. Watch the shoulder dip. And if you can do that successfully, what you want to do is in real time, you need to give it just a little bit after he's fully stopped. So once you see him fully stopped, just give yourself like a slight pause, be like, okay, I gotta wait just a second, now I hit him. And then you'll get a feel for getting that delayed star. And you have to use your right. You have to use your right. You can't use your left. Remember what we learned in part 1 of the tutorial? Your left hand deals 4 damage, your right hand deals 5. So in order to deal enough damage, you always have to use the right hand. All right? For the rest of the fight, you can do whatever you want. So the goal is you want to get 3 stars right off the bat, and then buffer 2 of them immediately, and then get another star. And then what's going to happen then is you need to wait for him to do his little gem right here, and his turban is going to flash. And when his gem flash happens, you can hit him in the face and get yet another star. So that will leave you with 3 stars. Once you have 3 stars, we're going to look for another visual cue with his legs, and then we're going to hit him with a star punch that deals extra damage because it lands into his gem flash, and then he goes down. And that's it. All you need to do is learn phase 1 for this guy, because phase 2 and 3 are the exact same. He gets up on a 1 count and you hold start. So really all you need to do is learn how to do the delayed punches and when to time the star punch. So let's bring it back. I'm going to go ahead and just try to do this, and let's do it at 75%. Okay, hold on. I need to get used to this a little bit. Nah. Alright, so I'm holding start. I'm going to get my 2 star punches in. I'm going to buffer a face punch that he blocks. No, I didn't wait enough for the gem flash. Okay, we're going to get this. Just keep watching his shoulder. So punch, dodge, counter. Punch, dodge, counter. Punch, dodge, counter. Star, star. Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. So that's a good demonstration of what you need to do for the beginning of the fight. That's how you always want to open. You just need to get those counters down. Once you get those counters down, then you won't have a problem. So I'm actually going to save state here. And we're going to break down the rest of the fight. So now we're going to be holding up and B as we come back to buffer the next one. Punch, dodge, counter, wait, gem flash, 1, 2, 3. Land that star punch. Okay, now all you need to do for the rest of the fight is hold the start button. That's it. Just remember though, you do have to buffer the punch, so you're gonna have to let go of start at one point as well. Okay, so we got him. Now you let go of start. Don't hold start the entire time, because we gotta do a fresh star punch now. Now we can start holding start again. Here you go, Great Tiger. Have a nice life. Okay. And that's Great Tiger. Now you should get him in 48 seconds, but I was a little slow on his first gem flash punch. So the other thing that I want you to watch now this time, let's go ahead and bring it back. Okay, this is something that you're going to need to use in future fights as well. So it's important to learn it now. Every fighter, their legs are going to move in a certain way. It's kind of, I call it striding. Their legs kind of go like this. They cross each other. So they're like bam, 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 bam. They're kind of just walking in place almost, is what they're doing. All right? And what you want to do is you want to watch for Great Tiger to take 3 strides, and as soon as his legs start moving on the 3rd stride, that's when you want to light him up with the star punch. Okay? If you do it any earlier or any later, then you're not going to get a knockdown. All right, so let's go ahead and do this part again. 1, 2, boom. Okay, that time we got a 41, so he should go down. So let's see it. Let's see it again. One, two, boom. You guys are watching his legs, right? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about his legs going back and forth. All right. See it one more time. Oh, shoot. One, two, throw it. All right, you're gonna hit it every time, man. Every time. And then the rest of this fight is easy as pie. We're just holding start. He's getting up on 1 counts all day. I told you there's no randomness to this guy. Here, we can do it in fast motion even. Don't even need to wait. And there it is. You get a 48.48. Okay? So another pretty basic fight. You really just need to memorize the sequence of punches and be able to land the delayed punches. Remember that you want to watch his shoulder as the visual cue, and then you want to watch his legs as the visual cue for when to throw that final star punch in phase 1. He's got to do the 3 strides, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So let's go through it one more time. Go ahead and put it back on 75%, see if we can get the whole fight one time. Well, no, actually we're going to have to go from here. Here we go. Alright, watch the shoulder. Okay, that was too quick. Here, I'm gonna put the mouse right here so you can watch the shoulder come back. There we go. Okay. Watching the shoulder. Alright, we got our 3 stars, use 2 of them right away. Then we gotta get 1 back. We gotta hit a face jab. 1, 2, 3. Throw it. Nailed him. And that's the end. What do we do now? Hold start. I can't see. What's happening? I'm scared. Oh! Oh my god, he's hitting the canvas. Okay, cool. Well, that's a relief. I was kind of worried. I didn't know what was going to happen there. Huh. Alright, let's see what's going on in the chat. Oh, look, he's down again. Okay, the fight's over. Cool. Okay, so that's Great Tiger. Pretty simple. Now, there is one other thing I can tell you. If you want to, somebody I think asked about sound cues yesterday. If you want, you can use a sound cue for the punch right before the final star punch of phase 1, the one where his gem flashes. That punch, I generally just try to feel it. I try to see just kind of by feel what's going on, because it's going to vary when you need to punch him. Now, there is a buffer strat that Zallard came up with for this fight, but I find it a little bit advanced, and it is something that if you make a mistake, it's your run's over. So it's a bit riskier than just doing the normal strat and giving up maybe a couple frames. If you want to be really fancy, though, you can check out Zallard's buffer strat. Maybe I'll post that in another time. Well, actually, here, why don't we just do it right now? See if we can get it. I'm going to go ahead and just make a state because I'm worried that I'm going to screw this up. and I want to explain it as well. There it is. Okay, we got it. So you guys saw it. Basically, what you're doing there is for the first punch, I just simply buffered a quick dodge and a face punch to hit him in the gem flash. Now that's not actually a perfect buffer, but it will ensure that you hit him during the gem flash. There's no way that you will not hit him during the gem flash. You may lose some frames by doing that, but it's a guaranteed hit. And then the second part of it was I did a normal left dodge followed by, normal right dodge followed by a right quick dodge, and then immediately held start. So let's see that one more time. There you go. Buffered to death. And we get to have a little fun with the speed up there. Okay, 48.48, so that's a nice time that you'd want to get on Great Tiger. And there you go. So we're already 3 fights into the minor circuit. This looks, the major circuit, this looks easy, right guys? Well, it is up to this point. Now things are going to get a little more complicated. We have Bald Bull up next. So get ready. Things are about to be hectic, shall we say. The good news is you do get a free start. Phase 1 on Bald Bull is completely non-random. You're going to knock him down at 17 seconds every single time. Like clockwork. Whoops. Let's get 100%. 100% speed. We don't need to go too fast. So this is actually a buffer strat. You're never going to actually have any spacing in between any of the punches except for the final punch of Phase 1. So you're going to follow this exact pattern. In fact, I am going to slow it down here once we get to the fight. Okay. All right. So once again, as in many other fights that you guys have seen so far, we start out holding what? Up and B. It's probably the best opening in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, up and B. Now, what that's going to do is land a face jab immediately, and then so we'll let go of up and B briefly, and then repress it, because we're going to do a second face jab, which will be buffered, and then as soon as we do that, we're going to let go and we're going to buffer a star punch, and then as soon as the star punch goes off, we're going to buffer another face jab, which will get us another star, non-random star, and then we're going to buffer another star punch. We're going to repeat that one more time. We're going to buffer one more face jab, and then the final jab of Phase 1, you have to delay just ever so slightly until you see Bald Bull return to his normal look, and then you got to pop him with an up and B, like that. You don't want to hold it down. He's not gonna take that. He'll block. Just want to pop him. Just pop him. Just pop him. All right. So let's see it in action. 1, 2, star. 1, star. 1, star. 1, wait, punch. That's it. That's the 17-second knockdown. It's so easy. You guys, if you've watched my blindfolded runs at the marathons, you've seen that I can even do that blindfolded. I've hit it, I think, every single time. So, it's really that simple. So I'm going to show you guys again in slow motion just so you can kind of get a little bit better feel for it. And I can kind of just explain as we're going. So let's go 50% speed. All right, start out up and B to open, release, hold up and B again, hold start, release, up and B again, hold start, release, up and B again, hold start, hold up and B again. Now wait till we see his face back to normal, and boom, pop him one. All right, pretty simple. So let's back that up one more time again. We open with up and B. Remember, you got to get 2 face jabs in. There's one. There's the second one. Immediately hold start. One more. Another star. One more. Another star. Okay, I'm going to pause it here because I want to show you guys this part right here. So again, we want to hold up and B and buffer that punch. Now, this is where you have to pay attention. Everything's been buffered up to this point. This is where you have to wait just a little bit. So we want to watch as Bald Bull comes back. See how he's in his stunned animation? Look at that face. What's going on there? Is that his mouth guard or is he spitting? I don't know. But he's getting rocked. So we want to wait, we want to wait, we want to wait, we want to wait. Wait till it comes back to normal. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. There it is. All right. So now, once we see his face back, whoops, uh-oh. I done goofed. Pop them. All right. Remember, do not hold up. Do not hold up and B for that last punch. You just gotta tap it. All right. You just gotta tap it. Wait for him to snap back. He's in his stunned animation. Wait for him to back to normal, and then boom, right in the jaw. Bald Bull. You going down. All right. So let's see that at full speed. There we go. All right, so we get our 2 punches in, get our star punch, another punch, star punch, another punch, last star, boom, wait, boom. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and make a state there. And I'm going to tell you about phase 2. This is where things get hectic. Alright, phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 3 is not so bad, to be honest. Phase 3 is fairly trivial. Phase 2 can be a bit of a pain in the butt. So this is the phase that we're really going to focus on for Bald Bull. Now I'm going to be doing a different strategy than what I usually do. I usually do a more advanced strategy, but I'm not going to recommend this for anybody that's just starting out. It's very, very advanced. It comes from the tool-assisted speedrun that McHazard did. It's kind of a variation on that. But for you guys, I'm going to kind of show you a little bit of an easier way of handling things. So phase 2 is going to start out exactly the same way as the phase 1 started out, by holding up in B, because Bald Bull's guard is still going to be in its early phase, and he's going to start with a rolling jab. So we're going to hold up in B and immediately do a punch. Now this punch is going to determine everything. This punch will either give us a star or not give us a star. And if this punch gives us a star, then we're in good shape. Good things are going to happen. If this punch doesn't give us a star, then things are going to be difficult. So let's see what happens. Alright, Bull's up. It's coming back. Alright, do we get the star? Nope, we didn't get it. Alright, let's see one more time, see if this changes anything. Nope. Okay, good. Nope, that time we got it. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm glad I have this save state. This is going to kind of allow me to show you the different variations. So no matter what happens, the second punch is always going to be the same, whether you get the star or whether you don't get the star. The first variation is going to come after that. That's the first kind of, it's like a fork in the road where things can happen differently. So what you're going to do is you're going to do what you did at the end of phase 1. As soon as you land that first punch, the one that's automatic, when you're holding up in B at the beginning of the phase, you want to let go, and then you want to do a tap up in B, just a quick one. Don't hold it down. Don't hold it down. He'll block as soon as you see his face snap back to normal. So the same way you did the final punch of phase 1, you need to do the second punch of phase 2. Now that one's going to give us a star no matter what. It's guaranteed. Okay? So we'll have at least a couple stars to work with. So I'm just going to kind of go through the variations first and then explain. So let's see what we get. It's going to take a little getting used to here. Hold on. Okay. So he gave me both stars there. Now what that means is that I am actually able to star punch him. If you get both stars, you can throw the star and he's not going to dodge. If you only get one of the stars, he's going to dodge. So make sure that you don't try to throw a star if you didn't get the first star of phase 2, because you will be sadly disappointed when he dodges. All right. Now from this point, things are good. We got our random star. We were able to land another star. You can see he's down on 62 health. Now keep in mind, when you're star punching Bald Bull, for the duration of the fight, you're going to have to dodge and then do not counter. If you counter, he's actually going to... I'm going to make another state here, actually. So we have this variation. Okay, that's going to be state 6. And... okay. So... alright, so what's going to happen here now is he's going to go into his hooks pattern. And with the hooks pattern, there's 2 variations. He's going to throw 2 hooks and then it can change. So the first 2 hooks, we have 2 stars left. That's perfect. We're going to just go ahead and dodge, quick dodge, and then throw a star. Not 2 dodges, just one quick dodge. I needed to specify that because you need to throw the star fast enough before he recovers. So that'll deal some damage, and then we'll be out of stars, and then he can either throw a hook or he can go into his rolling jabs pattern. So remember, he's going to go hook, hook, and then it's random. Hook, hook, random. So 75% of the time he'll go hook, 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 and then the other 25% of the time he'll go hook, hook, and then he will start his rolling jabs pattern, which is in general more favorable to you, but remember, it only happens 25% of the time, so don't go counting on it. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we get with the rest of this phase. Most likely he's going to go hook, 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 so you're going to get to see exactly what you want to do, which is you want to counter the third hook to get a star, and then dodge and counter his uppercuts for a knockdown. That's the most likely scenario. Ooh, I wasn't ready. Okay, let's go again. Whoops. That was F6, okay. Alright, so there's 1. There's 2. Oh, I was a little slow on that. Remember, input lag, kids. It's a killer. Oops. There it is. Okay, so that's our phase. So that's exactly what you want. You want a 42, and you got... oh, shoot. Okay, good. We got a 42 on the clock. We got 1 on the star count. And we got a sneeze. Okay. So this is the best situation that you can hope for. Now you're going to have a guaranteed phase 3, so I'm actually going to go ahead and make another state for this one. Go ahead and state 7. There we go. So this way I'll be able to show you phase 3. So let's go ahead and let's go into phase 3 and see. As you can see here, 80 is the refill. I'm actually going to see, I can't remember if that's the big one or the small one. He has a random refill here in terms of how much health he gets up with. It's not going to change your strategy too much though, for the most part. So let's see. I'm not even going to hit him. That looks like the bigger... hold on a second. Yes, that's the bigger refill. One thing you might hear me referring to sometimes is the dots. Like the refill will be past the 5th dot or whatever it is. So this one you can see, these are the dots that I'm referring to, are these little dots right on top of the life bar. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If he gets the lower refill, it'll be just at this 5th dot. That's how you know. If he gets the bigger refill, it'll be halfway between the 5th and the 6th dot. So if you want to sneak a peek, once you start getting a little more comfortable at the fight, then you can sneak a peek and see which refill he got. It might help you out a little bit. And much like Piston Honda, the counters, when you counter one of Bald Bull's hooks, it only deals 1 damage. But you do get the star for the most part. Sometimes you will not get a star, but most of the time, and for the strategies that we're using, you don't have to worry about it. You're going to get a star. So let's go ahead and play phase 3 out. This is with 1 star what you would want to do. I believe that was 7. Whoops. Uh-oh. Alright, hold on a second. I gotta redo this Lewis script. I don't understand, dude. What did I do? What have I done, McHazard? What have I done? I done goofed. Lewis script is dead. I can't get it back, man. Restart it. Alright, let's give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna switch it up here for a second. I'm just gonna start FCUX over again. Sorry about this. Restart. Alright, I am not sure what I did, but the Lewis script appears to be broken. I broke it. It's not coming back right now. Let me try to stop it and then run it. There we go. Okay, it's back. Fixed it. Sorry about that, guys. Dude, the Lewis script, it went Skynet on me. Okay, so phase 3. We're going to go ahead and take a shot at phase 3, and then we'll see if we can get the other phase 2, the more annoying one. So far we're just going over, this is the easy Bald Bull. So phase 3, what we're going to do is we're going to counter the first punch he's going to throw. Again, he's going to start his hooks pattern, so remember that can be 2 hooks, and then he's going to go random, either a 3rd hook or rolling jabs. 75% to 25%. So either way, we're going to use our 2-star punches, and then we'll see what happens after that. So we're going to counter, use our 2-star punches, and see what happens. There's our counter. 2nd hook. 3rd hook. Now he's going to throw uppercuts. So we're going to just dodge and counter. And then you hope he throws another uppercut there, but sometimes he throws a hook. Alright? So again, let's go over the pattern. We're going to counter the first punch. That's a hook. That's hook number 1. Then he's going to throw hook number 2, guaranteed. We dodge and star punch. Then he's either going to throw hook number 3 or he's going to go rolling jabs. If he throws hook number 3, we dodge and use our last star. Then he's guaranteed going to throw an uppercut after that. So the most likely scenario is going to be hook, 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 uppercut. That's what's going to happen most of the time. And then after he throws his first uppercut, he can either throw another uppercut immediately, or he can wait and throw a hook, as you just saw there. Either way, you're going to dodge and counter. So it's pretty simple. The only way that things get a bit complicated is if he ends up doing the rolling jabs. So let's see it again. Let's go ahead and get a state. So we get our star, hook number 2. Alright, so now it's rolling jabs. Boom! You gotta be ready to counter it. and we get a 106. How about that time? Okay, so you guys are probably like, what the hell just happened there? So I'm glad that we saw that luck, because that's the unusual luck. Now you'll notice that I threw a star punch because I anticipated that he was going to do the rolling jabs. I know what the pattern is, and then I hit him to counter. He throws 3 rolling jabs, so the star counters the first one, and then I did 2 face jabs to counter the next 2 rolling jabs. And then after that, he's going to go back into hooks, so we simply dodge, star punch, and he goes down. So that's pretty good luck. If you get a 106, you have gotten very good luck in this fight. The only thing that we didn't get was the lower refill, but that wouldn't have made a whole lot of difference in this particular scenario. So let's run it back. Wait, sorry, one other thing. Remember what we just learned against Great Tiger with the legs. That's how you know with Bald Bull. If he takes 2 strides and then throws his hook, you dodge and throw your star punch. If he takes 3 strides, though, he takes that 3rd stride, just like Great Tiger, let it fly, baby. Star punch all day, okay? Because that means he's going into his rolling jabs. So you're watching for the strides there. That's what you're watching. Same as Great Tiger, same exact scenario. You see that 3rd stride, let her rip. Okay, let's go again. So we counter the first hook, quick dodge star the second, quick dodge star the third, dodge, that's his uppercut guaranteed. Now he's going to do uppercut or hook. He threw the other uppercut, so that's actually better. It's better when he throws the second uppercut because it's faster. Sometimes with the hook he can delay before he throws it. With the uppercut he just throws it immediately. And we get a 111, which is a good time. That's a very, very respectable time. 111.25. So let's go again. I want you guys to get the idea here. Remember, counter the first hook for a star, quick dodge star. We saw that 3rd stride. Light him up. Good night, Bull. 106 that time. Okay, so you guys are kind of seeing the different scenarios that can play out in phase 3. A couple different things can happen. You just got to remember to watch Bald Bull's legs after that second hook. So we counter, quick dodge star, watch his legs, 1, 2, and he throws the hook. And this time he goes hook, so we lose a couple seconds there. So you can see that time it's a 113. So you can see there's a lot of variability in these fights just based on how long he wants to delay. And again, just as I mentioned in the first part of the tutorial, that comes down to the move timer. So we kind of got a little bit of bad luck in that particular scenario. Let's hit it again. So get ready. See those fists move and counter. Quick dodge star. 1, 2, quick dodge star. Uh-oh, that was a little too slow on the trigger there. Or we got Skynetted, I'm not quite sure. Counter the first hook. Quick dodge star. 1, 2, 3. Throw your uppercut because he didn't go into the hook. That's it. There's your 106. So hopefully you guys are kind of getting the feel for phase 3. So what I'd like to do now is I'm going to go back and I am going to do phase 2, but this time with the bad luck. So hopefully we still have that queued up. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's the good luck. That's when we get the star. So let's just go through it again. You use the second star, use the third star, wait. Oh, whoops. No, sorry, I did that wrong. Never mind. Disregard that. Disregard that. Okay, let's see if we can get it without getting the star here. No. Come on, Bull. Give me bad luck. He doesn't want to comply. Let's try the right hand. There it is. Okay. Okay, so now we've seen, this is the different scenario here. This is where things get ugly. So we didn't get the random star on the first punch. We got the guaranteed star on the second punch. And we went ahead and we followed the exact same pattern. So the pattern doesn't change until after this next star punch that we're going to land. So I'm going to go ahead and let's do one more state here. Okay, so remember, we opened phase 2. No matter what, we're opening it the same way as phase 1 ended. We're opening with an automatic buffered up in B, and then we're doing the tap up in B as soon as we see his face return to normal. Okay? And then if we get both stars, then we go ahead with what we did the last time. If we don't, we are going to do this. So this puts us in a little bit of a more difficult situation. So land the first star. Now he's either, again, this is where he can have some variations in his patterns after this next punch. He can either continue throwing hooks, or he can go into his rolling jabs. Again, the split is 75% to 25%, so you should anticipate the hook is a more likely option, but rolling jabs do happen sometimes. If they do, it's great for you. You hope for rolling jabs in this situation, but you're not going to get them too often, so you need to be prepared for the other situation. So let's go ahead and roll it. So we're going to do that. 1, 2, uh-oh. Trying to do a delayed punch there. It's a little bit different timing, so we're going to run this a couple times. Whoops, that's... Okay, there we go. Alright. So you want to go... Okay, here come the rolling jabs. 1, 2, 3... Okay, so I messed that up. I was kind of a little too quick on the trigger there. But now you can see we have a bit of a different situation here. So here, since we have 2 stars, we're going to handle things a little bit differently. We're not going to counter the first hook. We're going to dodge and star. We're going to dodge and star again. And we're just going to dodge, counter punch. And he goes down. So that's actually a little bit easier if you do end up with 2 stars going into the final phase. You don't have to worry about countering that first hook, and you're going to finish him off on his first uppercut no matter what. Okay, so let's back it up here. Hold on a second here. Alright, so dodge star. See what he does. 1, 2, delayed hit. And then again, he's always going to go into the uppercut there. Okay, so that's what you want to do. So if he throws the third hook, you want to do what I just did there, which is you dodge, counter 2 times, and then you got to delay. And this is a tricky one. Now, I want you to notice that when Bull is getting hit, his eyes kind of go up and down. He gets googly-eyed. So what you kind of want to do is watch his eyes. When his eyes stop moving, that's kind of your cue to do the delayed punch. This is one of the trickier delayed punches in the game. Of all the delayed punches in the game outside of Mike Tyson's frame perfect punch, this is the one you'll probably see me miss the most. So let's run it back again, see if we can do it. But if not, you can see that it's pretty easy. Once you get the delayed punch, remember he is always going to go into that uppercut. So memorize the pattern. He's going to go hook, hook, and then either hook or rolling jabs. And if he goes hook, 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 then it's uppercut. Hook, 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 uppercut. That's always going to be the pattern. If it's hook, hook, rolling jabs, then he's going back to hooks. Okay? So it's either going to be hook, 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 uppercut, or hook, hook, rolling jabs, hook. Those are your patterns. That's what you need to know. All right. So we're backing it up. And here we go. 1, 2. See, that time I was too early. So now what happens? Now what happens is you don't have a star. Now this is where you're really in trouble. You have no star to work with. So I don't know what to do here. Let's just mess around. So that left us a little bit short there. As you can see, it's not pretty. You kind of got to get a star, use a star, counter a bunch of punches. You still beat him in under 1:20. It's not the worst thing ever, but ideally you want to get that that delayed punch star. Okay, that's rolling jabs. 1, 2, 3. He's going to go back to hooks, no uppercut, and we nail him. Okay, so that's what is nice if that happens, but that's not going to happen too often. Let's slow it down a little bit, see if we can't get that punch a little bit better. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so 1, 2, boom, boom. Oh, too quick on the trigger. Boom, boom. There it is. Gotta wait for the googly eyes to stop. Let's see it again. Notice how his eyes get all googly there, though. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna save this here because there's no, this is the same. Oh, darn it, I'd saved it on state 1. Oh well, that's fine. We've been through phase 1 and 2 again. That's not a problem. So, all right, so now it's either gonna be hook or rolling jabs from here. And then hopefully it's hook, because I want to show you guys how his eyes get all crazy, and then you hit him after. And that's the delayed punch. So we're gonna go 1, 2. That was too late. See, it's really tricky to time. 1, 2. There it is. Okay, I messed up somewhere. I don't know where I made this state. Oh, it's okay. I know what's going on here. It's 1. Sorry, I was going to the wrong state. Okay, here we go. Too early. Too late. It's a tough one to hit, guys. Watch the googly eyes. Too late. You gotta be just after. One, 2. There it is. Now we got him. Okay, so we're at 46 instead of 42. We're in the same situation. So essentially, this is a 4-second difference. If you guys remember, 42 was the good phase 2. This is the unlucky phase 2. So you end up getting 46, and you have 1 star left behind. Okay, so that's pretty much everything on Bald Bull. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I'm going to go through and just maybe fight him one more time here, or a couple more times, just to kind of give you guys an idea so you can see the different patterns in action again. I know that was a lot of information I hit you with, but remember, phase 1 and phase 3 are typically going to be exactly the same for the most part. It's really phase 2 that's going to have the most variation. So let's take it from the top. Oh, I have it paused. Alright, so remember, we're going to hold up and be at the beginning of the fight, do our 2 face jabs, immediate star, another face jab, immediate star, another face jab, immediate star, face jab, wait, then punch him. There's your 17-second knockdown. We have 1 star behind. This is going to be the same every time. Now we're going to hold up and B. This is just like we ended the last phase. We're starting this phase. Now we got the lucky star, so we can go ahead and use it. Go ahead and use that one. Now he's going to do uppercuts. And I did the wrong thing there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm mixing up my strategies. Let's go again. All right, so you go 2 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 delay, boom. Okay, I used too many stars. I was supposed to counter a hook there. Okay, so remember, we're opening this phase just like we ended the last phase. Okay, we didn't get the star that time, so now we're gonna have to do a delayed hit. Good luck on that shit. Didn't get it. So if you miss it, what you want to do is try to get it again. That way you have at least 1 star going into the final phase. So we're going to wait, counter. This is a pretty bad situation. Okay, let's try it again. From the top. Punch, punch, star. Punch, star. Punch, star. Punch, wait, punch. 17-second knockdown. See, it's easy every time. You guys don't need to see that again. Let's just go from phase 2 onwards. Okay, this time I'm gonna counter 1, counter 2, boom, counter that, and then go ahead. So now we have our star for phase for the final phase. So we did it right. So again, we're gonna open here with the counter. Okay, watch his legs. 1, 2, 3. We know he's doing rolling jabs. Sweet, we got lucky. Go ahead and finish him off with that star punch for 106, baby. Alright, so that was a nice fight. Let's go again. Phase 2. We're holding up in B. We got the random star. Go ahead and use it right away. Light him up. Ah, it's a little tough to time that one. Okay, no random star. Alternative. We gotta go for the late hit here. Got it. He's down on 46. Alright, so phase 3 is still going to be the same. Go ahead and counter. Get 1. Get 2. Here comes the uppercut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another uppercut. Good. No delay. And we get a 115. Okay, so I think you guys get the idea on Bald Bull. So that's going to do it for the major circuit. We've covered pretty much everything. Just remember, not once did we get the lower refill on Bald Bull, but essentially it's not going to make you change your strategy a whole lot. It's just going to save you some time, so you don't need to worry about it too much. And it'll only happen 25% of the time. So again, the random star in phase 2 is 50% likely to occur. You'll get it half the time, so it's important to know both strats. The rolling jabs are only 25% likely to occur. Most of the time he will throw the third hook. That's 75%. And he's always going to throw an uppercut if he does throw 3 hooks in a row. So keep that in mind. Know your patterns, know your plan, and Bald Bull will not be too much of a problem, hopefully. And that's going to be it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little Q&A here, see if you guys have anything that maybe we didn't cover. And then I'll probably wrap it up. So let's head back over to the Q&A. Actually, it kind of makes more sense to just keep the chat on the screen. Let's just do it that way. And now I gotta try to fix this. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think that looks about right. Alright, the Dopefish asking the obvious question, why is Hippo such a jerk? Unfortunately, nobody knows the answer to that, Dopefish. If we did, maybe we would have made some progress on him. But hey, we got nothing. Too good. No Q&A. Alright, Bacon 20XX. How long did it take you to learn these strategies, and which fight is your favorite? Bacon, it took... The strategies themselves don't take super long to learn. What takes longer is kind of tuning them up and just getting better at the game in general and figuring out newer strategies and kind of incorporating, you know, you start out with these really old strategies that you guys don't even get to see, that are from like the early 2000s, and then they kind of get modified over time. This strategy is actually based off of a fight done by Matt Turk called the Clipper Crippler. That's hard to say. The bald bull fight anyway. It pretty much matches that strategy exactly, and it's a huge help for single segment. I remember having trouble with bald bull until I found that strategy. But for you guys now, like the way if somebody had made a video tutorial of the speed strats for me, well, somebody did, but they've been taken down since then. So now that's why I'm providing this. There was a guy named Kingdom Carts who actually had a series on Punch Out with a lot of good information and some of the fast strategies, but he took those videos down a little while ago. So you guys should be able to learn this stuff fairly easily. I mean, the most of the stuff I'm showing is relatively straightforward, and it's definitely doable. So just commit yourself. We're not on the world circuit yet. That's where I'm not gonna lie, the world circuit will kick your butt. But the first 2 circuits, anybody should be able to learn the first 2 circuits reasonably quickly. Which fight is my favorite is Super Macho Man. Okay, Cleanse 93. If it hasn't been addressed already, I'll go back to my first question. Why is 96 max health arbitrary, better for math? I would guess better for math. 8-bit games, things divisible by 8 tend to probably be better, easier, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the coding and stuff like that, but just remember this. This is a Lua script in FCUX that was developed by Delicott because he is a big Punch-Out aficionado, and he made these Lua scripts to make things a little bit easier. And it's the only way that you'd ever see the damage values in the game. You're not actually going to see this when you're playing on console. And I wouldn't recommend playing on emulator just to see the damage values unless you're trying to actually come up with new strategies. Then it can be helpful. So what is the difference in these 4 fights from the TAS, or the tool assisted speedrun, for those of you that don't know, and why don't you use the TAS strats? Well, I do for the most part, Ouija Wee. The thing is that this is a beginner's tutorial. So I don't want to overwhelm anybody. I want to give people strats that are easy and doable and reasonable. I don't want people to just quit immediately because they can't do a TAS strat. That wouldn't be very fun at all. So the difference, let's go over it. In Don Flamenco, there is 0 difference from the TAS. It's the exact same. King Hippo, it's hypothetically the exact same. You just need to get the same luck. The difference in Great Tiger is that instead of doing a delayed punch with your right hand, the gut punch, you do face jabs, and that's faster. So why wouldn't I do that? Well, they also happen to be frame perfect, whereas the gut punches that give you the stars against Great Tiger are not frame perfect. You probably have, I'd say, at least 6 frames, I think. Maybe not a whole lot more, but I would say somewhere between 4 and 8 frames you have to get the delayed punch star with using your right hand to his stomach, versus if you do a face jab, you got 1 frame, man. That ain't gonna happen. And it barely saves any time. You'd only get a 47.48 if you hit everything frame perfectly against Great Tiger. And you guys have seen me hit 48 and 48.25 using the normal strat. No reason to do that. As far as Bald Bull goes, the TAS strats are absurd. I have a modification of the TAS strat, which I use when I do my single segment runs, but again, that's very advanced, and I wouldn't want to put that on people that are just starting out running the game. Alright, Sebi the Bull, do you have a strategy for Mike Tyson? Absolutely. I've actually already done a tutorial on Mike Tyson, which is on my YouTube page. I'll probably revisit Tyson a little bit. That was more of a general tutorial. It wasn't a speedrunning tutorial. It was just a tutorial of how to beat Mike Tyson. Not even necessarily beating him in round 1, just beating him at all. Alright. Fantastic. How close do you think the current strategies are to being optimal? Do you think there's room for many more breakthroughs in the future? I hope there is. Fantastic. I really do. I love to see games grow, and I love to see new strategies come out. I thought things were pretty darn optimal until Nick Hazard came along, and he certainly changed things a good deal, and I had to update some of my strategies based on what he did. So I could see some things happening in the future, but as far as things for real time, I don't know. I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot for real time. I think there could be maybe some TAS improvements, maybe, but for real time, really, I can't see a whole lot happening. Okay. All right, Kojak, do you get down with Super Punch Out even from a casual perspective? I used to play it a little bit. Okay. All right. Well, this segment isn't too in depth. I mean, I think I can see why there's probably not too many questions on this circuit. Once we get to the World Circuit, things are going to get crazy. So it could be a little while before I do part 3 of this series, which part 3 is going to be at least Piston Honda, Soda Popinski, and Bald Bull. I'm not sure if I'm going to include Don 2 in that one. I may break it 3 and 3, but the World Circuit is definitely going to be broken into 2 parts because World Circuit is no joke, and each fight has a lot to explain. So it's not kind of like a lot of these fights are just kind of pushover fights. I can explain them in 5 minutes. Each fight in the World Circuit is going to take an explanation kind of at the level of, what you saw with Bald Bull. I guess Soda Popinski's not too bad. Bald Bull 2 isn't too bad, but Lord help me with the rest of them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and next time, part 3, like I said, we'll get at least Piston Honda 2, Soda Popinski, and Bald Bull 2, possibly Don 2 as well. We're gonna have to wait and see on that one. So thanks for watching, and take care, everybody.